The song is about a fan who writes Eminem a letter. And he's writing this letter. Dear Marshall, right? He writes a letter in the first verse. Then he goes and he writes a letter in the third verse. And the second verse, I apologize, right? Writes another letter to Eminem. This one's a little bit more kind of aggressive, a little bit more, you owe me something type vibe. And he does the third verse. Third verse isn't a letter per se, it's a recording. And this fan of Eminem, he's recording himself kidnapping in true Eminem fashion, this guy, his girlfriend, and doing this weird kind of murder-suicide plot. And he's recording this thing to Eminem. And then at the end of the verse, of that third verse, he comes to the realization, like, we're gonna drive this car over this bridge. He's like, oh shit, how am I gonna send this out? Right? But that's not the plot twist, is it? For the stands of Eminem who know, right? That's not the plot twist, but that's great. He could have stopped right there. But there's a fourth verse, right? Kind of breaks this 1-1-2 structure, this 3, this trifecta, this tricolon. It's like 1-1, then the twist. He does 1-1-1 twist. And the twist is Eminem finally receives the letter from the first verse, right? And he sits down to respond to it. And he says, Dear Stan, I appreciate that you got all my records, right? I'm sorry I couldn't get back to you. I was on tour. Hey, man, I hear you going through a lot. Hey, just, chill out. You'll be all right. And then Eminem, as he gets toward the end of the verse, he said, sometimes people do crazy things. Like there was this guy who got upset and he took his car with his girlfriend and he drove it off a bridge into the water. And Eminem has the epiphany like, oh shit, it was you. Right? The layering and the complexity, right, of how he worked, right? That repetition plot break structure, right? Masterful, right? Stan is one of the highest selling records of all time in any genre of music, right? To the point where the name of the song entered into common vernacular. The power of rap, right? On par, right? On par, culturally, with E equals MC squared, right? On par. Sing About Me, Kendrick Lamar. To me, one of his greatest record. Just the first verse, where he's singing about a guy, rapping about a guy who was in the streets and was involved in some violence. And he does it a different way. So I say it, I reveal it. Bet you didn't know you just saved yourself. Eminem reveals it with words. He says, oh shit, it was you. Kendrick and his genius. He's writing a letter in the person, as if he's this guy, and he's like, "Hey, if I live to see your album come out, do." You just hear this series of gunshots. Then the verse stops. The beat keeps going. So the guy, he dies, right? If I live to see your album come out, I just want you to do. Right? Repetition, plot, break structure. In the class, we study this.